What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Kristof Lewis podcast, Create Your Career. This is Contemplation with Kristof, number 127 total, episodes number 297. So appreciative that you're here again for yet another day, for another episode. It's the holidays, it's Christmas. Sometimes more time off is more stress. Funny how that works out, but I've experienced a little bit of that myself. So there's 297 episodes. This is only the 127th Contemplation. What does that mean if you're new here? It means there's two segments within the Kristof Lewis podcast, Create Your Career. There's the Contemplations, these ones where it's just me, and then there's the Conversations where I interview a guest, and I interview guests that are mostly either veterans or first responders or people that have just endured crazy hardships, anything really you can imagine. I've had people on here. And what I want to do is highlight what they've done, highlight their career to encourage you to create your own career, to pursue what you want, to transition out of what you're not doing into what you want to do, and understand that it's possible and not sell yourself short. So there's two episodes. You can find them on Apple Podcasts. You can find them on YouTube. Head over and subscribe to both. Head over to Apple Podcasts and rate 5 stars. That would be very helpful. Thank you very much. And you can find me on Instagram at Kristof Lewis. Today's episode is, actually, before we get into that, I'll talk about last week's episode was the conversation, and it was 170th guest, and that was Mr. Jeff Gum, and he is the founder of Sunga Life and a former Navy SEAL. It was a great episode. I encourage you to check it out. Today's episode is going to be about smaller is bigger than big. So let's get into it. All right, smaller is bigger than big. Smaller is greater than big. What does that mean? It's clearly not true. Once again, I have a revelation during time off. Like I said, time off. I got a week off of work. It's the most time I think I've had off all year. I haven't taken any time off. Typically, when I take off work, I'm just more stressed out. I have more anxiety. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about all the emails I have to come back to. And it's just not as enjoyable as it could be. This time, I reminded myself to just do your best to not think about it. It's good to think about it in a healthy manner. But if you're not getting a call, nothing's on fire, don't freak out about it. The world will move on. The world will move on, essentially. So that's just what I wanted to say real quick about work, depending on what you do. But in relation to the title of what this episode is, Small is Greater Than Big, is about consistency. So during this time off, even me, I would say, I feel like I'm a pretty healthy guy. I try to work out often. I try to eat good often, and I do. Although I see a decrement in that during the holidays or any time off or when I'm traveling. So what I've noticed is obviously consistency is king. It's one of the biggest things that I've noticed that has positive change in my life. But through the holidays, what I did, I just packed some resistance bands. I said, don't overeat, but still enjoy yourself, still have some sweets, and just enjoy yourself and your time with family. So what I did was I still worked out. You guys know I'm in this workout challenge, which is just forever working out every single day of my life. And that just means doing something active. So while I was gone, I was running, I was doing resistance band workouts, and I didn't do any weightlifting in the sense past resistance bands. So I was able to give my body a break. But the point of it is these small victories, these short runs, because I was running at elevation. I live in the beach. We visited family in the mountains at 6,500 feet. We were doing hikes at 7,500 feet. And what I noticed was that I didn't work out as hard, but I still did something small every day. I did a resistance band workout for like 15 or 20 minutes, or I ran for 15 or 20 minutes, but I did it every single day I was gone. So for 6 days, I did something every single day, and I maintained my workout streak, and today is Sunday as I'm recording this, and I did 149 days in a row consistently. And it's not a crazy workout, and it's not something extravagant that you're going to get all swole and just, feel great about yourself. But at the same time, I did feel great about myself for having done something consistently, even though it was small, every single day. And that was just working out and eating. I never overate. I never felt full. I did have some sweets and I enjoyed my life. But because I did something small, active every single day, including hikes and everything that you would want to do in a place like Colorado, I also ate well. And so it was like me and my wife Jordan were talking. It was like the first time I came back from a longer trip, like a week. And I just didn't feel bad about myself. And all of these things, of course, these small little wins and these small little victories tie directly into my mental health, into your mental health. So small, consistent wins, small, consistent things that you do throughout your day, throughout your week, day after day, these add up and they are way bigger than doing something big every once in a while. I think it was David Meltzer I talked to, episode number, 40 something, over 2 years ago. And he said, he was talking about meditation. He was talking about 5 minutes of meditation is more important every single day. It's more important than 60 minutes of meditation once a week. It's the consistency. And he was a big fan of saying how you do anything, how you do one thing is how you do anything. That was a great episode. Check it out. What I got from that and what I'm tying into right now is that these small things are so much more important than this occasional big win. Consistent small gains that add up, I believe, are always going to be bigger than big gains. The big gains seem big, they're fun, and you get this feeling of euphoria when you have a big gain. Maybe like your stock market is a fun example, right? You have a big trade, but nobody sees the stock trader that has all these little trades that add up. And I've been victim of that as well. So I've had plenty of failures in finances as well, which we don't typically talk about finances here, but I think it ties back in totality to the holistic view of physical health, mental health, financial health. All of these things are things that we should be paying attention to. And then I think that these small, and I don't even think I know, I've seen them in my own life, that these small wins have been so effective. The consistency day in and day out have been effective. And I look back and I go, oh my God, it's true. So the quick story is that when I went to my parents' house, I went through all of this old stuff that they had for me, threw out a bunch of stuff, but I looked at stuff from high school. I looked at stuff from college. You guys know, if you're a repeat listener, that I've dropped out of college and I still am where I am today. And I felt bad about all these things along the way. I didn't do great in high school. I was skipping school. I skipped out of college, clearly. And, I've had failures and faults all along the way. And I'll have plenty more. But I looked back over, 15 years ago and I said, holy shit, like I actually made something out of myself and I never thought I would. So once again, one of my biggest things is always selling yourself short. And I didn't think I'd amount to anything, but all of these small little wins, day in and day out, year after year for a decade and a half, have gotten to me where I am, where, in my mind, a loser, drinking, doing drugs, just a loser. I made something out of myself, and it's kind of emotional to me because looking back, I understand that the small little things, and I had some bad setbacks, even years were bad, but consistently I did something as best I could. I did the best I could every single day, and after day, here I am. And I'm still now a huge advocate of small things over big things. And here we are. We're coming up on the first of the year in 2021. And obviously I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions and waiting to 2021 to do things, waiting for a date in the future to do things, do them now and you'll be that much farther ahead. But I mean, if you're going to do something, if you're going to if you are that person that's going to wait till 2021, I applaud you. At least you're going to start somewhere and you've made that decision. But what I would say is understand that you don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to go crazy in the gym. You don't have to go crazy with a diet. The best, diet is the diet that works for you. The best workout is the workout that works for you, that you do consistently. And I guarantee you, if you do a year of that, by the time you get back, and maybe you'll remember little old me and you go, you know what? Those little consistent workouts day in and day out, I just did them. I know I didn't have to go in there and do anything crazy. I just went in there and I did something. I know every time I ate, I didn't have to eat super clean. I went in there and I ate well, the best of my ability. Literally, the best, work. Everything is tough. Diet, workout, work is tough, family's tough, but you just do the best you can. And you have to understand, or try to understand the best you can, that you don't have to do the craziest thing. So, small things during the holidays, do the best you can. In the new year, do the best you can and understand that small things, they add up. It's much, much bigger than you think, and you don't always have to hit that home run. But base hits, win games. I'm not even a baseball person, but that's probably applicable, right? So you only have to get on first base, and you just keep on batting them home. And I would never have thought I'd pull a baseball analogy into anything I do. Not a super fan. I'm not a fan, but that's all right. Anyways, I hope that drives the point home, and it will get you a grand slam in the long run if I could finish that up. So anyways, thanks so much for listening. I have had a great holiday. I hope you've had great holidays, and I wish you the best in the new year. And if you are starting something on the first of the year, I just hope you keep it up. Like I said, I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions. Why wait? But if you are waiting, I wish you the best, truly. And if there's anything else I can do to help you maintain that, or anything you want to hear on the podcast, anybody you want to hear on the podcast, let me know. Remember, you can find me on Instagram at Kristof Lewis. Head over to YouTube, subscribe. These are on video now, obviously, if you're seeing them on YouTube. But if you're listening to them, head over to YouTube and subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, head over and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and rate 5 stars. Tell me what you like. And as I always say at the end of these episodes, you can listen to all the best podcasts. You can read all of the best books that we've talked about. And you can have all the great conversations, have great friends. And it's all fun and games. But if you don't apply anything from that, it doesn't mean anything. So in this last week of December, in this last week of the year, and moving into the new year, I challenge you from one of the things that we've talked about, this holistic health, financial, workout, your physical health, your mental health. Whether you're listening to podcasts like this, or you're reading books, or you're having conversations, find something from it and actually apply it, or else you're not going to see change, right? One of the most important things is just what are the results you're getting. Even applying it may not mean anything. It's better than just reading about it, but application doesn't guarantee results. So the more you talk about it, the more application you'll have. The more application you have, the more results you'll have. You might have positive results, you might have negative results, but you'll have results. And the more conversations you have, the more action you take, the more results you have, the more positive results you'll have, or at least in the favor of which you so choose, whatever your version is of success. So have the best day ever. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the new year. Bye.